Hi, everyone. Uh, I'm Dana. That's Taylor. And we are your hosts for our new podcast called Obscure Orations. Taylor's going to tell you a little bit about that. Taylor?
Woo! So, Obscure Orations is going to be a podcast about anything and everything under the sun. We've done a podcast together already. It was formerly known as Depressed Breakfast Club. Some of you might know us from that. This one is going to be, I'd say, completely different from that one.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
that one, it was very much specific to mental health, and it was a fun journey while we were on it. It really helped us. It also helped us understand podcasts. we we knew nothing when we started with that. Now we know a little bit more than nothing. Like we know a little bit, not a lot, but a little
A
bit.
smidge more.
Exactly, just a little smidgen. We don't want to have high expectations. So this one's going to be more so about anything and everything under the sun. We wanted the freedom to be able to talk about all of the weird things that we love and then anything new that we want to learn about. So we're going to do stuff like talking about movies, about books, TV shows, video games, day to day life. We're going to have indie authors on here to kind of interview and talk about their books, which we're both very big book enthusiasts. I'd say I'm more of like a book collector when you look at all of my books. I've read a few of them, but I have 5 million.
So, I've spoken to a couple of the indie authors that we will be inviting on our show, and they're in the genre of splatterpunk, which was new to me up until about a month and a half ago when my friend Veronica introduced me to it and is like, because I absolutely love them. I'm like totally enthralled by the books I'm reading right now. So, yeah, we want to throw some love to that indie genre to kind of get it more out in the open and get people excited about it. So, yeah, some of the authors will be from that specific genre talking about their books.
Yeah, so I know I'm looking forward to that just because I like Dana, had never heard of splatterpunk. So getting to hear about that the one day when you said it, I was like, I think you made a typo. Like, what the splatterpunk? Is this some sort of new band name or something?
The next dance sensation.
Yeah, that's exactly what I expected it to be. Where it's like, oh yeah, I feel old now as I read something like that, and I'm like, is that what the kids are listening to today? I don't fully understand this. But I think it's going to be interesting just because we get to go through all those kind of things, and I'll be curious to see what listeners have to say about it, or if they've read and heard of some of these things that we never have. and
Absolutely.
and even give us, like, we're even looking for suggestions on, hey, are there particular authors that you want us to try and get in contact with? Are there books that you're like, oh my god, you really need to read this one? And talk about it on the podcast, like anything like that. We're open to anything and everything, and just looking forward to having fun with it.
Absolutely. So our main platform will be Spotify. We will be posting our podcast on Spotify, and we've kind of done our homework to where we've set up. Well, not us particularly, but Taylor's friend has set up a YouTube channel for us. Woo, YouTube!
I
So
would say, all hail my friend Sonia, who was like, hey, why don't you use the YouTube? Like, yeah.
so sometimes our podcasts will be videos. Uh, More so when we have a guest on. Uh, and then sometimes you're just gonna hear audio. It's just gonna be us talking. So we'll try to do like little snippets, maybe a couple days before we record a podcast, so that you can tell all your friends and get excited. So yeah, so we'll be platforming off Spotify. You can link to our YouTube from our TikTok, and you can link to our Instagram from our TikTok. So the only social media we won't be using is Facebook, and that's only because Meta is changing some of their rules about using third-party apps. So whatever, Facebook, do you?
One less
So
thing for us to be confused about is my thought.
oh, absolutely. We're gonna try to do like what, one a week, one every.
Yeah,
We'll see. Yeah.
I mean, when we first started off with our original podcast, we were like, yeah, we're going to do like one a month, maybe two. And then right off the bat, people were messaging us going, so next week you're doing an episode, right? It's like, oh, okay. I guess we're doing one a week.
Yeah, we have fans. 14 of them, but we have fans.
Hey, those are still 14 fans that are like, yay, they're on.
So, things to expect from our podcast are just generally Taylor and I talking, talking about something specific, something not specific. If you're sensitive to swearing, we apologize in advance.
Yeah.
Neither of us have filters. And if we did, we wouldn't know how to use them anyways.
No, I don't think mine was installed right at birth. Like it fell out and I went, oh, shit.
Filter? What's this filter you speak of? Yeah, we'll just try to keep everything light and fun.
Mm.
Like Taylor was saying, our last podcast had very heavy topics, and it was kind of like after we recorded and I was doing the editing, I was like, oh, that's so heavy.
Yep.
So yeah, we want to keep this one light and fun, and again, tell all your friends about it, because we want people to like us. We want people to follow us. We want people to be excited to hear us talk. So pretty much that's what Obscure Orations is going to be about. And I think probably maybe beginning of March.
Yeah, I think either the first or second, it's probably going to be like the second weekend of March. I think it's when we're going to start, because Dana and I are, very busy people. Not really. We're we're normally hermits, but we somehow managed to book two
drag shows.
we got tickets to go see. Like, this will be stuff that we'll be talking about on the podcast, but we have tickets to go see the amazing Jimbo in February at the end of it. And then a week later, we're seeing Bianca Del Rio. I'm like, yeah, I'm so excited. We did not know when we bought all these tickets that we were like, oh, they are a week and 1 day apart. Like, oh, that wasn't well thought out for us hermits. Like, we need a week to recuperate from our outings. Like, come on. So
absolutely.
We figure probably right after that, because I think I want to say Del Rio's on the Friday. So maybe by that Sunday we can record something and be like, all right, here's our first episode.
Yeah.
And just to kind of...
Jimbo's on a Thursday night.
Yeah. I say Jimbo's the Thursday, Bianca's on the
Friday.
Yeah, so... I'm so fucking excited. And just to kind of give like an idea of what we're thinking about doing for the first episode, we'll probably talk about the drag shows, because we absolutely love drag queens and we love drag shows. We love going to them. We love supporting them. But also, like, for the first one, something that kind of caught our interest for talking about is going to be about fairy tales and folklore. So I know Dana's done a whole bunch of research. Like, she got onto it way before even I did. I was like, oh, yeah, okay, I will start Rapunzel. Did you know?
And that's only because I'm unemployed. No. I'm retired.
I was just going to say, you're not unemployed. You're retired. You have the benefits now. If you get to be at home, you can cook the food. You can sit there and be like, listen, I have things to go research now. All right, yeah. This is how we're going to do this.
Laptop on my lap, Kindle in my other hand, trying to research while I read.
You got all the information there going, all right, how do you hide the body? Okay, well, Splatterpunk says.
Oh, they don't hide bodies in Splatterpunk.
They're like, that's for amateurs. Forget that.
So we will leave you with this little video. So now you know our faces and our names and our voices and what we're all about. And we hope that you'll join us in the future. And if you want to be a guest, like if you think you have something to add, want to talk about, go ahead and send us an email. That'll be also linked to something. We'll post it somewhere, probably on TikTok and Instagram. Send us an email and let us know if you want to be a guest on the show. We can calendar you in on whatever's good for you. Now, Taylor does shift work.
Yep.
So 2 weeks days, 2 weeks afternoons. So we'll work around her schedule mainly and hope for the best. But more like maybe 90% of the time, we're going to be recording on a Saturday or a Sunday.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
So we look forward to hearing from you for your requests for that. And the email is actually, if I remember, and I did it right. That's the important part. If I did it right, because please bear with us, we are not techie people. The fact that we started a podcast is amazing. And thanks to Dana and her abilities, we've been able to do so much of this because I had no idea. None whatsoever. Now I know a little bit more.
So my abilities are my husband, who's an IT guy. Thank you, IT. We love you.
He's so amazing. He's the bestest. But yes, I think if I did it right, our email is attached to the YouTube. So it does come up if you go to the YouTube page, and it has like a list of them. However, I will also give a shout out and say that our email address is obscureorations@gmail.com. So we'll make sure that we put it places so that way you guys can just have easy access to it, because I know that it's not common words that are used.
And hopefully that 99.9% of you actually understand what obscure orations means. If not, we can let you guys know. It's just a play on words.
Yeah, or say I literally have it written down so that way in the very first episode, that's one of the things that I'll go over is, here we go, this is how we came up with our weird name. So that way then anyone who comes along and listens can go, oh. And then if you don't know what the words mean, then you will after the first episode, and you'll be able to go out and press everyone. Because it's kind of fun when you know random ass words and you're like, haha, guess what I learned today? I would never do that.
Like there was a kid in my high school that used the word ostentatious.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I had to look Webster. Me and Webster had to look that up in his dictionary. And then I was like, you tool.
Yeah, when you walk by and you're like, maybe you feel dumb. But then, he sat there and he's like, yeah, I'm smart.
Yeah.
Look at all this. See, I'm not just a pretty face. I'm also smart.
He thought he was. Anyway, so yeah, we will I'm gonna hire IT this weekend to help us do a link tree.
Yes.
So that we can post our link tree with our videos on TikTok. And we'd like to do live TikToks, but in order to do live TikToks, we need 1,000 followers. And we're at 218. So I'm not good at math, but I think we need just a little over 800 more. So please tell your friends about us so we can do some TikTok lives.
I like that. I'm not good at math, but I think we need about 800 more.
I'm very artsy. Math was never my strong point. I like the arts.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the sad part, is that I know for a fact that math was not my strong point.
So we thank you guys, and we look forward to talking to yous.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait for this to start. I'm excited.
So have a great day, and we'll catch you in a few weeks.
See
Bye
ya.
now.